Hey, yo, happy 420, everybody. You miss me? No, that's all right. This show is not about me. This show is about you guys. So tweet out the damn room. You know what to do. Let's go. Oh no. Crofam, wait it. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be whipped by the Father's hand. Leave a good children. Oh yeah, leave a pastor children. Yeah. My head is anointed and my cup runneth over. Yeah. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, sing along now. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be reached by the Father's hand. Live a good children. Oh yeah. Live a good children. Oh yeah. Forgive us, forgive us. Yeah. What's cracking, y'all? Okay, markets are up. Let's go. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Ooh. Here I come with love and not hatred. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. Envy no one, no wish to be with no evil man. For there'll come the day when you'll be reached by the Father's hand. Live a good children. Oh yeah. Live a pastor children. Yeah. My head is anointed and my cup runneth over. Yeah. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow I all the days of my life. What's cracking, Murph? Is your cup running over?
Happy 420, brother.
Happy 410, bro.
How you doing?
It's good. It's looking good. Things are looking good.
Oh yeah.
Things are feeling good. Happy Monday, everybody. We've seen worse.
I took off early today. Shh, don't tell nobody.
Shh. This is the real work, Murph.
Oh
My
well,
God.
I'm always working like this. It
Now
is.
we're grinding.
But
this is grinding.
I took off early today because I gotta have a long day tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen any of y'all in a minute. I feel like this might be the first space we've had since the Thundercats dropped. It was a hell of a weekend, and it's a 2-day thing when the kids get sick, and then you gotta like clean everything all day. Things are better now. What's up, slums? What's up with you?
Hey, what's going on, man? I got some of those disinfectant wipes if you want to get ready to order you some from the store. But yeah,
I
man,
did like 6 loads of laundry, man. It's
yeah, man.
crazy.
Get you some black seed oil and honey. That's all you need. Some black seed oil and
I
honey.
just like I feel like every time I leave the house, this happens.
No, it's been
Someone
something
gets
going on.
sick or
It's been going on all over, so I've been kind of staying away from everybody. But you gotta
yeah,
treat
that's vibes, man.
you gotta treat your body like you gotta take care of your body even when you're not taking care of your body.
Deep, homie. What's up, troops?
What up, Alpha? That's crazy. I always knew we were brothers from other mothers, but I've been off pretty much for the last 2, 3 days with sick kids too, and I was thinking all this shit I'm missing out on, and then here you're in the exact same place.
Oh, good. Because I was worried I was missing stuff too, man.
Because
I
what happens is like I think you guys know this, but like we've got this awesome sleeping arrangement. We've got like a big giant bed and like we co-sleep and do all this mad shit. But I've got my like DGen room where I pretty much eat, sleep. I don't shit there. I shit elsewhere, but I eat, sleep. I do everything in that room pretty much. My normal work and everything. But because the 6-year-old got sick and was coughing all night, her and the baby couldn't be there. So they kicked me out of my DGen room so they could sleep in there, and I had to sleep with the 6-year-old. So it wasn't like I realized how much I utilized that time between like now and the rest of the evening. It's my entire DGen life. So I was like cut off from it. It's horrible.
Yeah, I was just wandering the house last night. I didn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah, you had no place, man. But same boat as you, man. It's funny how even though we're on other sides of the world, like I took the kid to like a trampoline park, and then the next day he was sick. I was like, "Damn you!" And it was 2 days before he was supposed to have a birthday party. It was like, "Fuck this
Yeah, the
shit."
worst is that you see it coming.
Oh
It's like
yeah,
you
yeah,
know everything before it's gonna happen, and
yeah,
that's when you know you're an old fart. But like, it's
absolutely.
also a nice feeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Uh,
I like I enjoy being right about everything.
and my wife enjoys it even more because I was supposed to take him. I was supposed to take him to. We went. There's this like old mining museum thing beside where we live that we've never been to yet. So like last week, some point midweek, she was like, "Take the kid to the mining museum. He's going crazy. He needs something to do." So we go up there, and it's closed because it's closed like through the Christmas period or some shit. I was like, "Oh fuck." So the next closest thing is the trampoline park. So I text her and I said, "I'm going to take him up the you don't take him to that fucking trampoline park. He'll get sick. He's got his party in 2 days. Don't do it." And I'm like, too late. We're there. It's fine. It's all fun good. Oh my God, he gets sick. I'm dead.
Oh yeah, trampoline park, man. I don't care what country you're in. That's just a germ fest.
Oh
I've
fuck.
only been to one once, but like, smells like a locker room.
Oh
It's just
yeah,
like,
little sweating kids everywhere. Oh man.
ugh.
Yeah, disgusting. But anyway, it's been all good. Nice to see you. Nice to hear you. With so much has gone on. We've done this awesome thing with the Nobodies. I see they're up here sponsoring the space. We've got so much to talk about. Thundercats, the lot.
So much, man. Buddy Labs is doing exactly what we've been talking about for the past year, which is diversifying manufacturing,
Yeah.
and having options for different continents. And
Yeah,
now the
man.
whole website is split up like that.
It's cool, isn't it? How we split up the shops for different places to
It's
maximize that.
beautiful.
And
It's
it's
really beautiful.
I know like you've been close with Johnny for a long time. I've talked to him, for quite a bit as well. We did like the buddy brick stuff. We did stickers for Richmond and that with him. But I said this to him when I chatted to him last week. I genuinely felt like I genuinely almost felt like I had to apologize to him, and obviously I don't, but I felt that way because he is a guy who has been like from the beginning working quietly, and he's a super nice dude, as I know, like Murph knows, he met him, Jenkins met him when they were in Richmond, like just a nice dude, he's really outgoing, but he's not like, he doesn't talk a lot of garbage like we do on Spaces. He's not that type of person, but he's done all his mints, he's done all his stuff, and he just keeps on building it. And like a lot of us, he's invested a lot and he's lost a lot, and his family are kind of saying to him like, well, what's going on? And I just had a really open and heartfelt conversation with him, and I was like, yeah, there's no reason why we haven't been supporting this dude more before now, and so we're going to change all that.
That's great news. Yeah, because this is not easy, and it's much. Well, I mean, we do what we can to help each other, and that's what makes it doable at all. Because
Especially right now, right?
I'm honestly surprised any of us are still here. The amount of time and money that we've put into this stuff, like just you kind of breezed over it right there, as we tend to do, because it's a tough subject. But like, yeah, man, they want to see something coming out of this.
Really
and
tough, and it's especially when everyone's got different, everyone's got different things. Like, I work like IRL, Murph works, different people work. Some people, this is their livelihood. So there's a whole melting pot of different things, but everyone's invested and everyone like wants it to be a success. And it was good to have that little bit of, actually, the 3 days where I was kind of locked out of my DJing cave and could just I could watch Discord from afar, but I couldn't really fully interface with it. Same with Twitter. It was a nice bit of reflection, actually. It was, and to put things in perspective. And it was nice to have that little bit of a break, even though it was forced upon me. But the more we can do to support, all of us, the better, right?
Yeah, for real. And that seems to be the vibe everywhere I've jumped around on Twitter today. Even the big spaces they've been talking about. And this is like, I'm talking Alex's space where they used to be yelling, no days off.
Yeah.
Any founder that takes off a Sunday is a rug. Even in there today, they were talking about, you gotta take time off. You gotta take care of yourself.
I think because Christmas and that whole period, it takes it out of everybody, doesn't it? It doesn't matter whether you love it or you hate it. Like there's financial pressure, there's burden, there's stress from your wife, from your kids, from all angles, commercially, everything. And then it's like it's done, and it's like, okay, now it's like dark January. You have to take some time off. You have to recharge. You have to reflect on all that shit, all that madness that's happened for the last 2 weeks, and recharge and ready to go again, I guess.
Yeah, I've had trouble because just because I keep it 100 with you guys, I've had trouble pushing the start button and getting this going again. Not just because of everything that's been going on IRL, but just getting back onto Twitter. And the truth of the matter is, as soon as I get in here and there's 40 of these solid crofam MFers that jump in here right off the bat, it's like this feeds me, this re-energizes me.
Yeah. And it's funny, we've had a bit of that too, and chatting just before I kind of went off and catching up with my community managers and the guys, there seemed to be like a bit of frustration building, and like I think it maybe was part of that reflection. I don't know, but people were like, we're here building, people don't understand, they don't get it, and we were talking a lot about moonshots, and how we had kind of started this Discord, and the idea was that the 12 whitelists could kind of use it, and then other people could use it as that centralized place. And we've talked a lot about it in here, that we all thought it was a great idea, but nobody really utilized it, right? Nobody really got on board with it the way that we hoped or thought they might have. And that's like, I always kind of take a step back and try and understand why. And I don't think there is really a reason, apart from the fact that it is quiet and everybody is just trying to focus on their own thing, because it takes all your effort just to keep your own Discord or whatever going. Any distraction does feel maybe like it's pulling away from that. And I even saw it in Troopers. So I said to the guys, look, don't get like salty about it. We don't get stressed about it. We just kind of have to say, well, maybe that's not the right thing right now. Why don't we just put a pin in it for now, close it, everyone focus back on what they're doing, and then we just revisit it again later on, like when things go again. But there was this sentiment building, like you said, a bit of like it was almost like, here's 2023, we all need to take a deep breath and be like, here we go again. I put out a tweet in the new year where like one of the first points I said was be realistic about the year ahead, right? If you're expecting a 10x crow pump in the next month or so, then you need to give yourself a shake and realize that we've probably got another tough year ahead. So re-baseline yourself and just be ready to kind of be in this position, right?
Yeah, man. Crow has been on a slow climb since yesterday.
Which is cool. Yeah.
It's great. It's exactly what I want to see from the token that we build on, you know, that all of our projects and tokens are based off of. We don't want to see any crazy volatility. But my favorite tokens out there, Matic, Atom, they're all over the place, man. They are spiking, and you gotta sell those tops. I sold some Matic last night at 87 cents. That was smart.
It was funny because in the last conversations I remember you guys having when I was just listening in the background, there was a brief conversation about that boink or bonk or whatever the hell it was called. And I happened to see somebody posting on Twitter that they had made like a 10x. They invested like $1,000 in Monk. They were in and they were out, and they walked out with like 13 grand. And it's like, you know, that's how you meme
That's
coin.
what we want to hear. Yeah. What we didn't want to hear were the people that started buying Bonk when it was blowing up on Twitter. And
well, that's exactly it. That's exactly what this guy said. Is if you're buying it now, your exit liquidity.
Don't.
You know?
Yeah. We might not have yelled it loud enough. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ever loud enough about these things, but we were definitely clear about it.
Yeah. It's tough, right? Because even, you know, I guess we probably do get some alpha. There's some pretty smart people in these spaces, and we get around a little bit. But I would even say most of the time, you might disagree because I'm not really a coin guy, but most of the time, even if like when we're hearing it and we're talking about it in here, we're probably too late. Chances are we're probably too late because the real
90% of the time,
somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely. And just like we were talking about before about getting older and just knowing these things,
yeah,
it feels good to be able to see the market and predict it more reliably. Like you almost understand these tokens and why some are more volatile than others and why they move when they do.
Yeah, I think I'm only in one group. I think I've only got one alpha group in inverted commas left. That if something pops up in that group, I'm pretty much going to buy it or invest in it straight away. But the reason I know it's a good group is because there's very little happening in that group right now. Like I don't hear a lot, but when it does, you act on it, right?
That's what you want, yeah. If it's once a month, you know, that's going to be a good one. We knew there would be something after Bonk, and there was Franc, you know, some fucking frog coin on Solana.
Franc.
Yeah, and they're gonna keep it going as long as they can because Solana needs every bit of hype that it can muster up right now, and it's working. Solana's back to like $14.
Yeah,
I want to say I was wrong, you know, because I said that at $8.50. I said to everybody in here, like, I'm not touching it. Don't touch it. And it went from 8 to 14 in a week.
Well, you know, it's been around long enough, isn't it? They know how to pump that back up, and I can't see Solana going anywhere despite all the connections with various different things.
They pumped it up to its support level. That's funny because 14. That was why I didn't touch it at 8 because under 14 was like that was their last, you know, like a year ago or whatever.
Yeah, fun times anyway. But yeah, we are back. It's a new year, and you know, it's going to be more of the same probably. So I think, but it's good because we're used to it now, right? So everybody should be over the shock, should be over the dip. This is the new normal for Kronos. So let's make the most of it and do whatever we need to do.
Yeah, I'm still a firm believer that Crow's fair value at this point in time is more around like 11 cents.
Agreed.
And I don't want to see it shoot there, but I do want to see it get there because if Bitcoin's going to be at 17.6 and ETH is going to be at, you know, almost 1,400, then Crow should definitely be getting to 12 cents somehow.
It'd be nice to see.
Oh, it'd be lovely.
I don't see any reason why that can't happen, in the first part of this year. I guess I'm talking more around those people with the expectation of like seeing the 40 cents or higher mark again.
Yeah, man.
We'll get there, but not right away.
What do you think,
Chris said
Steve?
we lost 2 years when the
Right? I believe it.
FTX went down. Chris said we lost.
2
Yeah,
years,
he
huh?
said we lost
That's
2
rough.
years.
So everyone that's not looking like 2 years back is just artificially pumping themselves.
Well, I'm buying at where I should have bought when my boss told me to buy. So I'm feeling pretty good right now.
So you and Troops, man, you guys got people telling you when to shoot.
Yeah, when somebody's got 2 black cards, I'm listening to them.
Yeah, you're always hyping this guy up.
Yeah. Well, he ain't done me wrong, man. I'm making, passive money in my sleep. So, that's the way to do it.
That's always
That's
nice.
me.
You got to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. He don't agree with a lot of stock moves I make because
See, me and Murphy, we even throw the same fucking emojis at the same time. Talk about
yeah,
like-minded.
they're penny stocks. I do penny stocks mostly, except for
See, did it
the
again.
big ones. But yeah, you got to hang out with people that are pretty, a lot of pay grades ahead of you, and then watch the way they think. So
Yeah, I'm with
you
you
got
on
to
that.
do it.
I just like to say for the record, I never called anybody my boss. No one's my daddy. But
Hey, let's go.
but I do have one group that I trust. Yeah, and don't worry, I do share whenever I hear information in that group. I share it pretty quick.
Yeah, that's the important thing,
Well, when
right?
a guy writes my check, he's my boss. So
Oh yeah, so that guy literally is your boss. So that's fair.
yeah.
That
He,
guy.
he treats me more like a brother than a a flunky.
An
So I'm good.
employee. Yeah,
Lucky guy.
nice,
Speaking of
nice.
sharing things, I'll share a couple things with you guys. Here's something from Thunder Token. There is a new project that is using Thunder as their reward token. Shout out to the Chronos Tycoons. Their new thing is called Crazy Tangs. They're orangutans. They are staking on Corgi Studio for Thunder. So that's, I believe, the third project using Thunder as a reward token, and we love to see it. We are going to give away a Crazy Tang in here today. We are back on our bullshit. How are we going to do this? I'll figure it out. Y'all just tweet out the room. Ayo. How many we got in here? Same as always.
Since you've got Buddy Labs up there, can I talk a little bit about what we're doing with
Yeah,
them?
boy.
Sweet. I'll try and find the post, but essentially, like I mentioned at the start, there, we've been talking with Johnny for a long time. Same with Alpha. Those who don't know him, Johnny Chimp's been around for a long time, and has Buddy Labs and Nobody's NFTs. He's got a couple of collections which are already out, and there's a secondary on. That's the original Nobody's NFT and the Nobody's Gen 2. He's also got a little mobile app game that's out and usable, and you can download it and play it. Again, not a lot of people know that, but you can lose a lot of time. It's like a kind of Candy Crush, weird kind of little game thing. You can lose many, many hours playing it. It's a lot of fun. And then he's just doing a lot of like IRL stuff. So he's got like his Nobody's studio. He does like stickers, merch. He does this cool thing called Buddy Bricks, which have got like a little NFC chip like built into the NFT card, like a really cool high stock card of your NFT. He puts it in a cool little case. You can buy that for any of your NFTs. They're awesome. And a whole bunch of other products and lines that he's looking to do moving forward. He's currently got 2 mints that are going on, and he's asked if the Troopers community can help him kind of relaunch or revamp what's going on, because it's gone a little bit quiet. And we were in talks with Johnny for a long time about getting him onto the community staking with Troops. That's kind of long time coming. So it's great that we've eventually got that all done. So you can now stake all of the 4 collections on the Troopers staking platform. You'll get 1 Troopers token a day for any and all of the collections. And further than that, on the ones that are currently minting, so he has a small collection called the Nobus, which are a very low mint price. They're 21 Cro, and he's using the funds generated from that to continue to advance a further game and some more of the IRL stuff that he's looking to do. If you mint those ones at 21 Cro, you'll actually get 222 Troopers tokens back for every mint that you do, which is pretty cool. If you're in the whitelist community, you're collecting those Troopers tokens. It's a nice way to bump them. If you mint 20, or for every 20, you'll get a Troopers OG as well. And then the final collection is his 3D. It's his Nobody's Gen 3D. They're slightly higher price. If you own a Nobu at 21 Cro, then he's dropped the price again as part of kind of working with Troopers. They're now 222 Cro if you own a Nubu, and you'll also get 1,111 Troopers tokens back with each of those. So if you're in the Troopers community, if you're staking any of the 12 projects, if you're collecting Troopers tokens and you want to support Johnny Chimps, then go check out some of his mints. And if you do mint anything from him, make sure you jump in the Troopers Discord, and there's a channel there where you can stick in your transaction and we'll sort you out with all the Troopers tokens. So that's probably enough. I've pinned, did I pin it? Yeah, I pinned something up top that should give you all you need to know.
It's never enough, troops. Not when we're talking about Johnny Chimps. Because like you said, bro, we don't talk about it enough. My guy has been doing it for so goddamn long. It's crazy. It's crazy. I tell the story in here all the time. I feel like, right? About how I used to be jealous of that motherfucker. I was like, who is this Johnny Chimps guy? Why is he doing like more than me? That's crazy. And he's still doing more than me.
Now we talk twice a week.
Yeah. After we met at NFT NYC, it was over with. You know?
Yeah.
I'm fucking in love with that guy.
Nice dude. And he just went and learned all this stuff himself, right? He went and was like, okay, I need to do more,
Yeah.
so I'll go learn how to do this. I'll go.
He's a chimp, bro. He's a fucking chimp.
He does. He just wants to learn it all. And that's one of the things that obviously we've been doing a lot of, and you and I talk a lot on Murph in here, and it was compounded again by Apes Rings, is how we can like get this IRL stuff and Web3 connected. And I personally think that's going to be a bigger theme throughout 2023. So I like the fact that on a small scale, Johnny's kind of driving that stuff forward as well with what he's doing.
Yeah, man. We got to keep driving that point home too, because I don't think everyone sees it. And it's gonna be one of them, one of those people that doesn't see it yet. That's gonna have the next big thing when they figure out how to connect what they're doing IRL with what we do here. Because everything is coming across, and you got to bring that Venn diagram together. We see a lot with gaming, you know. The Thunder Project brought sneakers in. Sneakers have been a big hit with a bunch of projects on different chains. Everybody loves sneakers. But you know, the merch that's a big umbrella. Every project needs merch. And the way that Johnny has set it up is exactly how we've been talking about doing it in here, doing it right, and separating it by continent. So because we have a global audience and a global consumer base that needs to be able to access merchandise without going through crazy customs and crazy shipping. And everybody here is a creator. So
yeah,
whether they know somebody that can make it or whatever, like everybody can make something.
It's worth saying as well that like I don't want to give too much of you know, Johnny Chimps' secret sauce away, but I don't think anybody, you know, we're all pretty smart people here, and he's not reinventing the wheel. A lot of what he's doing there is Web 2 technology. It's been around for a long time. It's a pretty simple shopping service, but the difference is he's using this community and using us. We're the Web 3 integration. The product itself is not. But one of the cool things about it is, and I was chatting to him about this, giving him some pointers, the service that he's using to build out the whole store has got out of the box crypto pay ready to go. And so he's almost, I think he's in the final stage of having his crypto.com pay all sorted. And when that's done, it's a flick of the switch to turn crypto pay on that website, and it's good to go.
And then you're 2 steps from using any token here to buy anything, right? Because you go
Correct.
Thunder to Crow to purchase. You go, any of these other tokens. What's up, Tycoons?
Hey, just wanted to say that we actually are having our in real life purse shop opening next month in Las Vegas.
Yo, this purse ace thing, I keep seeing it.
Yeah, it was a drop of 3,500, and
went pretty fast. I didn't get a chance.
It took less than a week. I was very happy for that to sell out. Also, we sold out of our Tycoon OG yesterday as well.
Hey, let's go. Hold up. You get you get one of those for that.
Yeah, so we sold out 2 different NFT collections yesterday, which will also get royalties from the purse shop also. And there's actually going to be more than one purse shop in Las Vegas. So we have some pretty big dreams that we're actually doing, and they're becoming a reality.
That's awesome. So the first one already exists, yeah?
No, it's in the process. We're trying to find a bank that'll take our crypto. If not, I have to go to LA and open up a business.
We're in a similar situation here, right? Island Thunder is in the process of opening a brick and mortar here on Martha's Vineyard.
That's awesome. I'd be happy
to
go. We got to
keep pushing, man.
Can I just get a quick clarification? When you say purse, just to make sure it's crossing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
The transatlantic barriers well enough. Are you talking like female things they keep their money in, or are you talking all things like bags, wallets, purses, or is it something different?
And like the fancy stuff, like what are those, Birkins?
We're on the ground level. We can't afford a bunch of Louis Vuitton and Gucci and everything.
But it's not like
a Birkin. I think a cheapest Birkin you can get is like 20 grand used.
Right.
But it is a purse, though, right? I'm on the right lines. That is the product.
Yeah, we're selling purses and bags and wallets, awesome. Belts, whatever,
Nice, awesome, love it.
Yeah. Also, like Alpha said that you can stake your Crazy Tank Survivors on Corgi Studio, and for Thunder Token, which is completely awesome, I think.
I also think that. I concur, Doctor.
And then also, if anybody joins my Discord from this chat right now, you have until the end of the chat to open up a ticket and put in code word alpha, and I will give you a NFT from our ecosystem. Let's
go. A stakeable NFT?
Everything that we do is actually stakeable.
Amazing. I don't think you guys want to pass up on that. Nope. That would be silly.
Be careful with that code word alpha. That's a hot code word.
They got to know how to spell it. Oh shit, that's my name. Never mind. Nah, they'll still fuck it up. Watch. Atlas, what's up?
Okay, sorry, I was joining the Discord. Definitely didn't want to pass that up. Yeah, I think I need a dictionary how to spell alpha. Is it 5 letters or 7 letters?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Here, you ready? It's JACKASS.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get a stamp for your forehead, bro. Anyways, the bank that was talking about crypto, right? So the U.S. bank has a lot of they pay their employees and their bonuses in crypto. So I know that might be a good one to check out for you. I have a friend that's on the federal side, and they get paid in crypto. It's kind of new, but they're trying to make World Bank. So that might be somebody that can, accept crypto from you.
What was the name of the bank?
It's U.S. Bank.
U.S. Bank is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, they're making the World Bank or something. They're gonna start accepting all crypto. So that's a good look. Check that out. You might have some luck on that one. And then I know merch stores are pretty sick. The only other person I really know about doing that in real life, not like an actual shop, but is like Crodu as well. They're kind of doing their little merch shop. So it's nice to see everybody.
Tell us about that, man. What's Crodu doing? Because we don't hear from them a lot.
Yeah, I
Forever.
mean, I'm just, I'm a holder. I've been there since Mint, so I like what they're doing. They've distributed like almost 700,000 Crow to their holders in the last 4 months. So they're doing big things. They've incubated like 26 projects, and Crow holders get royalties from them.
Shit, man.
Yeah. Artdu is like a dev on Kronos, and he's like probably going to be the most well-known dev by the end of the year if he's not already. But yeah, they open up a merch shop, and the holders, if you hold the Crow NFT, you also get a percentage off of the in real life store. They've opened up a business in Canada and are shipping globally. I think they're partnering with the Undead Space Apes.
Real quick, because my head was stuck here, just to be perfectly blunt and honest with everyone. Like, Crow is a voodoo thing. It's like voodoo dolls. It's not doo-doo.
yeah, it's not voodoo. It's not doo-doo. It's Crow.
Because I never made the, you know what I'm saying? I never made the effort, because I was like, I just had Crow in my head, and I never equated it with voodoo dolls.
Yeah, I think they've in 4 months climbed to the top 50 on Abyssus Bay. They might be a little bit higher ranked right now, but yeah,
I know big things, man. That's crazy. 700,000 Crow is nothing to shake a stick at. Whatever that means.
I'll shake my stick all day.
Shake it. Crow we got to get them in here. So, we talk about this a lot in here, about how sometimes we get siloed off without realizing it. And this is definitely one of those situations. Because we talk about the Kronos devs in here by name. Because we don't have very many, right? We got Bach, we got Crosmo Dev, we've got Brian.
Oh, they're partnered. They're partnered with Crosmo Dev in a sense. They're partnered with the Dr. Dow, and Dr. Dow's partnered with Crosmo Dev. So they're kind of linked up.
As long as all these devs are connected, we'll be fine, right? As long as they know each other.
I'll bring him in though. I'll message him. I was just talking to one of the guys that leads the AMA, so I'll bring him over and make him show up to the Alpha Squad show.
Yeah, man. We're here every day, y'all. If you're new here, this is the jungle. Welcome. Wavy's here, so we can get it cracking.
Hey,
Wavy.
I just want to say mad respect to y'all's art, man. Y'all can do some sweet NFTs, man.
Those wolves.
I just looked at a bunch of y'all's abilities, man, and I really.
What are you looking at, Steve?
I was looking at the ape and the orangutan.
Oh, those tangs, man.
Those are sweet, man. Those are sweet. Whoever does that, y'all tag me if you want me to look at y'all's stuff, man, because I'm really big into art.
Hey, yeah. Steve, you want a tang?
I don't know how to get it, but I'll take it. Yeah.
Bro, hit me with the Ox Addy, Bing Bong. We got a winner right here. Fuck your life. All y'all were too slow.
What's Ox Addy?
Steve wins. And now everyone gets to learn what an Ox Addy is. It has nothing to do with a bull-like animal. It is your Ethereum / Kronos wallet address, your public wallet address. It starts with OX. Okay. So we call it an Ox address.
Well, I need to go look for that.
Because your Bitcoin wallet, that'll start with any number of crazy digits. You don't fuck with Bitcoin, Steve?
Dude, I ain't got that kind of jack, man.
Are you waiting for your boss to tell you to buy Bitcoin? Here, I'm going to tell you.
I get them free anyway where I work, so I don't worry about it.
You get free Bitcoins?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Who is this guy you work
Dude,
for?
he's you really don't understand, man.
I don't.
When I see a guy write a check for $144,000 or $144,000, and he doesn't even flinch, and we turn around and we eat a $4,000 lunch and dinner, dude.
He sounds like VC capital to me, man. Why don't you tell him about what we do here? We're looking for backers, for funders.
He does his own gig, man.
All right, get the fuck
I'm
out
sorry, hey man. You know I ain't gonna tell the guy what to do with all his money. He tells me what to do with my penny stuff, so I don't. All right, I gotta go find this ox thing. I'll be back.
All right, Steve. It's 5 o'clock, y'all, so it's time to check these charts. These numbers are brought to you by Crypto.com. Please, for the love of God, don't let them be your daddy. Let Steve's boss be your daddy. Aptos is the big winner today. Holy shit. Aptos is up 38% on the day. What is going on? Why didn't you guys tell me about fucking Aptos? It was $3 yesterday. It's $5.36. Nobody says shit to me. All right. Gala Games is up 20%. We called that one last week. Solana also up 20%. Filecoin, fuck off. Terra Luna, get out of here. Steppen's up 14%. That's cool. Bitcoin is at 17,400 on its way back down. ETH is at 1340, also heading down. Matic is at 86 cents. Yep, good thing I sold it at 87. Solana is at 17 fucking dollars. What? $17.30. I don't even want to look. Cosmos, my boo, $11.36. Thank you, Adam. Not bad, y'all. Crow's at 6.4.
Well played to everybody who bought that Solana dip.
Jesus. I really hope you guys didn't listen to me. And you bought Solana at $8 because that's a fucking double up in a week. Holy shit. That's crazy. I gotta stop talking shit. This is the gods of Web3 teaching me a lesson. Like, stop talking shit. It's not funny. Making fun of Solana is not funny. That is old. We're done.
Yeah, I bought some at like $12.80.
There you go, Murph. That was ballsy.
Mm-hmm. It will always have the tag. Solana, I think personally, in an NFT capacity, it's always going to have the tag of the home of the rug. I mean, it's been like that long before I even came to Kronos. I don't know if it'll ever lose that thing, but it's going to be around. That's for sure, regardless.
Yeah, they want to be called the consumer chain, not the home of the rug. But we'll work it out. Crow Cruisers, what's up?
Hey, I just had a quick question. You were talking about APTOS or whatever. That is the hardest fucking shit for me to find as far as like to transfer over, coins or whatever, and to try to get. I was trying to get into the C string, but I wasn't able to find a dApp that I could cross over. So, does anybody have help?
Well, I would recommend, and this is why it's always funny because I say don't let him be your daddy, but the Crypto.com app is a great way to bridge between these chains. So you can send whatever you want to the CDC app, swap it for Aptos, and then send that on the Aptos chain back to your DeFi wallet. That's what I would do. Anybody else? Tough crowd.
I concur. My hand was up, but you stole my thunder.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah. I can give a bit more information, but I'll come back to it. I've just asked one of the guys. There's a bunch of people in Troopers who got into Aptos early and have stayed there for a while. So yeah, absolutely. The DeFi wallet now has full support for it, but they do have their own wallet and stuff, but it can be a bit tricky to navigate. Fred Guy might have some
and
more
I'm
insight.
sure in the future it'll be easier to bridge in the DeFi wallet from Kronos to Aptos.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's brand new, right? Newer than Kronos. So think about all the stuff we had to go through,
A lot. We just got on Ledger a month ago. What's up, Fred Guy?
I just wanted to make sure that everybody was super conscious and aware of the exchange fees, though, because I screw myself a lot trying to like buy a little bit of ETH here and shoot it over to MetaMask and not think about that $6-7 exchange fee for sending out. So make sure you're always taking that into consideration.
Oh, bro. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Because the chain that you use and what you're sending can really drastically affect how much you're paying for a fee. Like sending USDC on Ethereum is like $5 or something. And sending Bitcoin isn't cheap from the crypto.com app. There are some things that are really cheap. Matic is the fucking best. Don't even like, you don't have to try anything else. All right, just swap whatever you're trying to send from Matic. Send Matic. It is so much cheaper. Voodoo, what's up?
You guys were talking about Aptos. I'm one of
Yeah,
those
baby.
people that got in early, got my free. I think they airdropped us.
Oh,
at
you
the
got
time
that
about like
48% pump today?
hells yeah.
There you
Well,
go, guys.
all of my liquid I've already converted into Sea Shrine NFTs, and I'm also in the undead. Not the undead. It's the dead. It's what's it? Dead. It is the undead actually. It's an undead project over there.
Hey, tell me
Yeah.
this, because some of us thought we were early. Well, we were early, but maybe too early, and we bought Aptos Founders NFTs on Ethereum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
They're
Visa's great.
eventually going to bridge those over to the Aptos network.
Oh, so they still
Literally,
haven't done
Seastrine
that.
just went live last week. Literally went live last week.
No
So
shit.
it's the same team from Abisu's Bay, and now they're building their marketplace on Aptos. The biggest difference I would say between them on Chronos and them on Aptos is that there's already a few established marketplaces there. So there is competition. But the NFT marketplace over there, it's evolving. There's not a lot of DeFi, like to be honest, the whole launch of the blockchain caught a lot of people by surprise. They weren't expecting to have the blockchain live until roughly around this time. And it popped up like about a month and a half early.
How was everybody surprised? I don't get. It's like the devs were surprised.
Everyone was
Everybody was
surprised.
surprised. Like, who launched the chain? That's what I want to know.
Well, the
It's
chain
just
is
one of those
run
things, isn't
by
it?
some
Yeah.
ex Facebook developers. They're the ones that started the launch of the Libra token from Facebook. And when Facebook started going under scrutiny from Congress, they branched off. And this was Facebook's way. They basically gave them the tech and the money and say, go ahead, go build something. And they built Aptos, along with more VC dollars. But that's where that all came from.
Yeah, I definitely heard the same sort of vibe that, you have all these undercurrent networks that talk about stuff, and it definitely launched earlier than they thought. There's a couple of big NFT projects. I think the Lemurs is quite a big one.
Flamingos over there too.
Yeah, a lot of people
It's
around you.
the
But I
biggest
do
one right
know, I mean,
now.
I probably, this might not be news to people, but and I don't want to be dropping Schwizz's Alpha Forum, but he definitely, just in passing conversation with him as I was talking with him and about what they're doing this year and stuff we were thinking about doing, he definitely said that their plan for Aptos wasn't really getting started until like now, basically January, February is when they're really going to be pushing it there. So it's definitely one to watch and look out for. I think some people figured that it had kind of it launched and it had that little pump where everyone got the free tokens and made a little bit, and then it kind of disappeared. But that wasn't by any means it disappearing. It still continued to grow.
Yeah,
Just
but you
lost...
know these degens, bro. They were like,
Yeah,
they're like, Aptos is dead. Everybody dumped. That shit is done. Yeah.
Over
well,
here, Chronos,
if you're holding a Sea Shrine NFT on Aptos, just jump into the Sea Shrine Discord because they're gonna get ready to drop you some free tokens over there. So
another disc. I just got in the Tycoon Discord. I gotta wait another couple of days.
That's the way to do this, bro. You gotta get in early and get out early.
Get in and get out. Get in and get out.
Get in and get out.
Who did that track? Get in and get out. Is that Lil Jon? Probably. Oh God, my mother's here. Okay. Who's You guys go. I gotta mute myself.
You need to put the ladder in my car.
The ladder? Oh, okay.
Liz was here all day.
Okay.
Live.
Okay.
He didn't mute
Okay.
He didn't mute himself yet. He's like, I gotta mute myself, and then he didn't mute himself. So he's like, I'll just keep talking anyway. Alpha's mother. You know, a topic that I was interested to talk about, and I was keen to hear. I saw that some of the OGs are down there listening, like Wavy and Low and KD, and there's a whole bunch of other people who have been around from the beginning. Panthers, there are bunch of people, and I'm kind of interesting because I've talked a bunch up here, and there's been a bit of a there's been two sides to the coin. I've talked a bunch about the lower priced NFTs on Chronos, and then I've talked about like NFTs which have got a Crow price that more reflects what we believed, to be the value of a thing on Chronos, 6-7 months ago. And I think it's an interesting conversation. And when I sit here and say, like, we look forward in 2023 and we have to be sort of cognizant that this is what it's going to be now. This is where Crow's going to sit for X amount of time. So with that, does that mean we should be like happier or just accepting? Is everybody kind of comfortable with the lower price NFTs? Because I think your man was up here as well talking about Crowdo and that whole network and Corgi. And there's a bunch, like if you go spend some time, I wanted to do a bit more research and understand, and a bunch of great stuff going over there. Like Atlas said, a lot of projects minting lots of high volumes of NFTs, a bit like the conversation that, Back and I've had up here many times. Lots of supply, but very, very, very low value in terms of Crow price. What does all that mean? Like I'm just interested in hearing what people have to say. Like, what do people think that means for Chronos as a blockchain? Does it devalue it because NFTs are so cheap? We're talking like about a $2 NFT or something, or is it good just that we've got transaction and activity on chain? I'd love to hear people's thoughts, like a mixture of kind of the new people in and some of the OGs down there. If anybody wants to come up and share their wisdom or their views.
Well, it's gonna be difficult to get out here, Rafa, but I think
No, please
from
go.
that topic,
Can I co-host the two of you? Because if I have my mic on for more than a couple of seconds, you have no idea what you might say. I gotta get a ladder.
I think if you're building in a space, if you focus on building, the price is irrelevant. The price will catch up to the value that you're bringing to the market eventually. You just keep building, and it will get there.
That's
Because
100%.
people will see value in what you're building, and people will see value in what you're bringing to the blockchain. So even if you mint at like freaking 5 cents, we just minted out Brain Dead Monkeys Gen 2 over the weekend. And one of the biggest changes we made to that mint was we dropped that mint from 500 Pro to 300 Pro. And mind you, when this project started minting, Pro was still at like, 20 cents? So if you're looking at the dollar value, like you're probably paying a quarter of what the price was at mint. But what's a quarter of a mint that's not moving?
Absolutely,
right?
And it's an interesting point. I mean, I know.
So you got to understand where the market is currently, and set your price accordingly. Anything after that is just your requirement to bring value, to bring utility, to bring use case to what you're building. And I think at the end, the market will set that value price for you.
Do you think
there's to worry about that?
Do you feel like there's a limit at all? Like, like you said, with Brain Dead Monkeys, they were here from the beginning. They've gone from 500 to, what did you say, 300? That seems absolutely seems reasonable to me. But what about if they went from 500 to 30?
Well,
you
if
still
you
think the same
about
applies?
If they were like 500 at a 20-cent crow, that's $100. To 300 at a 5-cent crow, right? That's a significant drop if you're just looking at the dollar value of what just took place. But that's just the market right now. Now they have to bring value and utility to the NFT. If you're looking to have a line, a loaded line $1,500 NFT, then you have to bring that value.
So you don't think a drop to the 30, 40, 50 crow would matter as long as they continue to build the value?
No, because
I
we're not
think
here
on
for
the
just.
established project, like yourself, if you guys had, like, I know you guys have millions of ideas, but if you had a really good community idea, you guys could charge whatever you wanted for your NFTs because you are a trusted, believed, like everyone trusts Troops. We know that you're going to do the right thing. But like for new projects coming out, I think they sort of have to prove themselves a little bit, right? Before, I don't know. That's just my thoughts, though.
Well, BDM has been here. Well, the members of BDM have been in Crow since the beginning. You know, the Gen ones came out in March
Mm-hmm.
of last year, and Gen 2 came out in September. So these guys have been around.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
an
That's what I think.
established community.
For Gaz and those guys, I think a drop to 300 is a no-brainer. It's still a decent, but I'm not really talking. I'm not talking about a 300 crow mint. I'm talking more about the the 10, 20, 30 crow mints. Demon's got signed up. What up, Demon? Then Atlas. Not based.
Oh, what's up, blockchain fam? I, I think that it really comes down to like how much faith anybody has in what the underlying project is into. I mean, some of them are doing different things. Like some of the projects on Corgi are vested in the MMO project, which I mean, with the recent crash, kind of sucks on rewards. But multiple projects are doing different things over there, and some people are into like the whole you get a NFT that gives you access into certain rumbles and whatnot that give you various rewards. So, I mean, I see some value in it.
Yeah, for me, I definitely see value in it. For example, like a good example, since we were already talking about coders, would be, the mint price started at 35 for them, and as people saw how much they're building and how many partnerships they're doing and incubators they're doing, their price went from 35 crow to now 500 crow floor, so almost a 20x. Last week it was like a 20x, and it's just because people are noticing what they're building and the value that they're bringing to the project and the weekly distribution of super, super high royalties. So yeah, I think a low mint for me personally is a good idea to onboard people from other chains, right? I mean, we already have like the cheapest coin chain that I could think of out there with the big top names, with like under 10 cents or whatever it is right now. And I think it's a great price to onboard people. So I think it's beneficial for everybody that's been here long term. We're going to benefit when the bull run comes. So, yeah, I think it's great to have this lower price, the entry price right now for everybody, especially all the advertising we have with the UFC partnership we have and with the crypto.com stadium. So I definitely think it's great to have a lower price for Pro currently, because it's definitely going to rise back up to newer heights.
Cool. Yeah, no, it's interesting to hear the points of view. I don't really have too much of an opinion. I'm just interested to hear because it is like a re-baseline for those people who have been around for a year. It is a bit of a re-baselining, and it's kind of irrelevant to what's happened in the past. But there is a little part of me that just I don't know if I wanted Kronos to become the penny stocks of crypto. That wasn't really what my view or ambition for Kronos was. And I guess my fear is that whilst you're saying these like lower, everyone will just keep going lower and lower and lower, right? Until there's NFTs for 5, 10 crow that are worth like a cent. And at what point, like how hard is it then to build that chain back up to something that is actually valuable in terms of dollar value? Yeah, projects can keep delivering value, absolutely, and they always will regardless. But is there a danger that the chain as a whole just gets a reputation for being, a very low value chain?
I don't think so at all. Like a lot of these plays or launches that you're seeing here on Chronos, they've been tried, replicated on Ethereum, on Solana, on ADA. It's just now coming to Chronos. I don't think it's gonna relate directly to the effectiveness of Pro or for the value of Pro. I think projects that bring value will flourish. whether they start at 35 cents or they start at 500 crow. 35 crow or 500 crow. Because the same thing could be vice versa. You can mint at 600 crow and end up with 100 crow floor, right? Because people don't see the value and it goes in reverse. So I think just if you're focusing, like Atlas said, on the long term, and you're not using your mint cost to basically keep the lights on, and you've planned this out and you have a runway, then this is just an accumulation part, you know. So keep building, keep bringing utility, keep bringing value. The rest will fall in place.
Yeah, man. Interesting. Voodoo, I have a question for you. Every time you've been here for a long time, and every time you come up here, and you're talking about a different project, you always refer to it as we. How many fucking projects are you something to do with? You said here when you were talking about the brain dead drop, you said we did this earlier. When you talking about board candy, we did that. Like, what? Tell me what are you in?
I'm in a lot of projects.
But I don't mean as an investor, because I'm in a lot of projects as an investor, but I wouldn't refer to them as we.
Yeah.
In what capacity?
As either some type of community manager or some type of organizer, part of one team or another. Right now, probably about 5 or 6 projects that I'm actively part of their team.
Nice.
I just like to keep busy.
Is this your full time? Is Kronos the only chain where you're doing
that? No. Well, no, it's not. I've been around for a while, so I have a pretty decent Ethereum portfolio. I have a decent Algorand portfolio.
Are you community managers or like involved in projects?
No, not projects, but just investors on those blockchains.
Yeah.
As management position, it's mostly Kronos.
Just Kronos. Yeah, no, I know you've been here like the whole time. I just wondered. Yeah. Sweet, man. I think Alva's back. So Marcus, with your hand up, what's up?
Yeah, just coming up to give my 2 cents, which is not worth anything in Canada because we got rid of the penny. I think that when there's 100 different projects that are worth 20 crow, it is distasteful. I think that Kronos already is known, not locally, but retrospectively as a joke, right? And we've seen that in many different spaces. And I think that does come down to the fact that there are a lot of jokish things that happen, right? Meme coins and a lot of derivatives and a whole lot of, XYZs of the same thing without a lot of originality. I think that does make us a bit lesser. And we give way to it and we're open to it, right? So I would have to agree with you there, Troops. Now, at the end of the day, I think overcharging, as Voodoo was going on about, overcharging is not the way to fix that, but bringing value to projects and consolidating is very important, as opposed to diversifying too damn far that it's absolutely worthless.
No, I think it's a fair point, and I think that's why I was interested in sparking the conversation, because I think there is no right or wrong answer. There's just different types of projects, and I think the key is that we all agree with is the project delivering value? Is it delivering something unique? And I think one of the interesting things is many of these projects that are doing the sort of low cost mints that we're seeing coming out of some of these other marketplaces, I wonder how much research they've done on projects that have come before, because they are actually doing a lot of stuff that's already been done here on Kronos Management. And again, that's okay. You go to Ethereum, you go anywhere else, projects are recycling similar type roadmaps. Nobody's really doing anything groundbreaking. It would be good to see some of that though. But a lot of stuff, merch stores, giving back to holders, giving back huge amounts of Crow. We were all doing that last year as well, right? And so now I'm wondering, are we just doing that again now, but for 50 Crow an NFT? And if so, what is that value that you're talking about them bringing? What is the value they're bringing at that point? So just interesting. ITK, got your hand up. What's up?
Yeah, no, it's just on that point, asking Voodoo what projects he's involved in. I was just looking around there earlier on, and I just found a couple of projects I wanted to ask him about. Super DNA being one of them, and that's on Binance, and MasterChef on Polygon.
I've never personally heard of either one of those. I've never been involved with either one of them.
They're linked to your router wallet. To your router contract.
Router?
To board candies, yeah.
Okay, to the DEX. Okay. I don't own that, but No, I've never heard of either project, if that's what you're asking me.
Okay, right. No, just wondering. I was when I did a bit of digging, I just came across them owned by the same wallet, and I was kind of scratching my head.
Yeah, I've never heard of any project and never dealt with either one of them. Not personally, not as an investor.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah,
you got an open mic.
yeah. That's why I didn't want to interrupt anybody. What go back to those NFTs? The question with the NFT. I really believe that we're only thinking in the U.S. dollar, the Canadian dollar, and the U.K. money. I really think that they're trying to put it on a world value where somebody in a third world or fourth world country that they can start their own little business in NFT. They don't have $27,000 to buy NFTs and lions and all the high end quality stuff, but they can start their own little business or corner of the world that they could probably sell to their friends, neighbors, or whoever wants to buy their NFTs down there and stake them.
I don't think it's a bad thing to have cheap NFTs, but I always think that like the projects that have established themselves should have higher valuations because they're established, they have full communities, they're doing stuff, they're invested, they're building for their communities. Like we have that trust in them. But I think having a new project that hasn't really, maybe they haven't proven themselves or whatever. I don't know. I don't see it as a bad thing. And I think, the third world country, that's also a valid point as well, right?
I think it's super. I mean, I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think we talked about this maybe in here last week, and people way smarter than me were talking about. Might have been ITK and a few others. I can't remember, but it's about how you set markets and things in real world, right? And so, what would have happened if last year, when we were all minting our NFTs for 300 Crow, essentially around about that mark, and then somebody came in and just started minting NFTs for 20 Crow?
It would have been crazy. No, you're so right. Like honestly, looking at the money, the amount of Crow, like it would not be uncommon to be buying 400 Crow a day NFTs back 6 months ago. Like that was just a regular occurrence. You wake up, there's a new drop, Troops is doing something, or Loonies are doing something, or every single project was a higher mint valuation. And if somebody came in and did the 20 Crow, I think it would really hurt
but
everybody.
But interestingly, like you're pointing out, it's a valid point that as an onboarder or as a kind of like, well, I don't know this project, so to build up trust, I'm willing to spend a little bit, but not a lot. So wouldn't that concept still have pertained then as it does now? Like if there's still a new project, so
you really got me thinking here, Troops. I'm not gonna lie. Like you're sort of blowing my mind right now.
I hope you guys can hear me. I lost audio a couple of times.
We were having like a really deep conversation about mint value.
About value. That's
my god, Troops! Like I don't even know what to say right now. I think Jimstar has his hand up.
Jimstar.
Well, yeah. What's up?
Yo, how's it going, everybody? I just said I should come up and give my own opinion about this cheap. Oh, when you say cheap, I probably think you mean low mint prices. A couple of years ago in Europe, I remember before the EU thing came in, if you were in Ireland or in the UK and you were a tradesman, you were cleaning up as a bricklayer or a plumber. And then all of a sudden, people from Poland, they came in, tradesmen, and they were doing brilliant jobs for cheaper prices. All the contractors went mad, because they couldn't meet up. You drop a quote for a job and somebody will come in and undercut it. And you can't fault them on the standard of the job. They were doing brilliant job, So I'm just trying to relate that to the NFTs now, So
it's a nice one because it destroyed the market, right?
No, it didn't destroy the market.
I did. Well, it did. I don't know where you are in the UK.
No, I was in the UK and I'm in Ireland. It didn't destroy the market because at the end of the day, the cream of the crop will always rise, or the cream will rise to the top, and when you in construction, what happened is that the bigger companies started employing the Eastern Europeans, so they had the name, they had the standard, they had the accountants, the businessmen that would go in and front the contracts. But at the back ends, they will have the foremen, the tradesmen, the drafters, which were the Eastern Europeans doing the quick jobs, the handy jobs, and it just brought down things. Construction became cheap, and that's when you had the Celtic Tiger. That's why you had the boom. Lots of houses were being built. There's no fault about that. So I just want to let you know, I had a mint, and I believe in the cheap or low price means, and you're sounding a little bit like if you're giving out, like if you're angry, or that you don't understand why there's a lot of cheap, like take a look at
No, absolutely not. No, I wanted to open up a balanced conversation. There's absolutely no, like, it's going to happen. It's already happening, and troopers will be doing it too. Nobody's saying anything about anything. I was interested in hearing points of view of new people onto the chain, older people onto the chain. Where does the balance sit? What do we do moving forward? What do people think of, like, how does that interfere? There's nothing being thrown at anybody who means anything for any price. I definitely believe with the overall sentiment here, which is it's about the value the project then goes on to deliver. But interestingly, just very quickly on the point you just made, in Scotland, it absolutely did destroy the market, and it took 5 years at least for the construction market to recover as a result of that.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I'll look into that. But I just wanted to say, so when a project comes out, and back in the days they had the free mint Ethereum project that literally cost nothing upfront, just the gas, and they went up to do great things. So what's the difference with that and just putting a low price on your Kronos mint?
Well, absolutely. I guess and you're absolutely right, that was an Ethereum strategy, but I guess you got to remember that at that point, the cost of gas on Ethereum was hundreds of dollars. So even a free mint with gas on Ethereum was costing more than like a $1 mint on Kronos. Sorry, Voodoo, you had your hand up again.
Yeah, I just wanted to go on what Jim Star said there. I completely agree with you. Don't worry about how low other people are setting the bar, set the bar yourself, and the rest will follow, right? And I think, like you said, like, if we have to be careful about these things, right? Because if we price out newcomers, what you're going to end up having is an economy where all the OGs own all of the good projects, or what we consider to be good projects on the blockchain, just because they were early enough to mint, right? Because the prices of them have moved up so far that people that are coming into the blockchain can't afford or don't have that opportunity. I think, like, I love Boomers. I'm on the very first page of their holder list. It's a project that I believe in strongly, but just like our BCC, it's another project I believe in strongly. But one of the things that concern me, especially when you start hitting that 1,000 Crow mark, this economy 6 months ago, same difference in my mind. 1,000 crows or 1,000 crow, right? It starts pricing people out, so it becomes more and more difficult for newcomers to be part of these more established, more productive communities.
Yeah, no, it's another fair point. I think it all comes back to what we keep talking about around the value delivered, isn't it?
This is Steve again. I don't know how to raise my hand, so I'm sorry.
It's all good, Steve. Go
Yeah.
for it.
I'm looking at it as an investor point of view also. And
hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear Steve. Yeah.
Oh,
Can you hear
fuck!
me?
I can't hear him.
I can hear Steve too.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm looking at it as an investor, that every time somebody makes an NFT or turns an NFT or sells an NFT or anything that they do in the Kronos thing, I'm making money. And I would much rather have, I mean, this is my point of view, 300,000 people making stuff and turning over stuff than 5 or 6 people making 300 crow worth of stuff. Do you see my point of view with that? I mean, because I'm in these pools and everything, and the more that they click, the more that I click.
Yeah, no, it's volume, right?
Yeah,
And
it's volume,
that's
but I still
definitely a
want
factor that
quality,
we need
though.
on.
I mean, if I'm going
Yeah,
to buy NFT, it's got to be
yeah,
quality or a big utility one, like these
yeah.
little.
And I think that's the balance I'm trying to find
Yeah,
and trying to get through this conversation is, what's the balance of uh, quantity that we need, transactional and just people here, versus quality. And in any business, whether we want to try and deny it or not, price is directly associated with quality on almost everything that we do. So it's something that we need to bear in mind. Lo, I saw you pop up, Mr. Uncle Lo. Long time no speak. I'm sure you've got something to add. What's up?
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Can you guys hear me okay?
All good, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, we
what's
hear
up,
you
sweet.
fine, bud.
Lo? Steve, I'm gonna bump you down and up because I couldn't hear anything that he said. That's hard for me.
I haven't
What's up,
already said
Lo?
a happy new year to everybody. Hope everyone is starting the new year off right. This is a good topic, and I love topics like this because they really speak more to the macroeconomics of what's going on. And we can look at each chain as little economies. And so when we talk about, low priced NFTs versus higher priced, right? I think there's a market or demographic for each type. We got new people that come into the space. They maybe don't have, large pockets, or maybe they're a little risk averse and they don't want to overinvest themselves. So they'll dive in and they'll test the waters with something that is lower in cost, right? And the good thing about that is that while they, the ceiling, there's certainly a ceiling on a NFT you buy for 20 crow or 50 crow, right? You're not going to, it's not going to become the Bored Apes. I mean, there's very few projects that will emulate or hit the same trajectory of the Bored Apes. But what that does is maybe excite them and buy them time in market so that they get to learn, what's all this is about. And the more time they're here, the more versed they get, the more comfortable they get, and then their risk aversion will maybe go down. And then that's when they take a plunge into a little higher priced NFT. And the cycle continues. Now, if the low priced NFTs are not of high quality and don't provide a lot of value, then that will have the inverse effect where that may just scare them away and say, you know what, it didn't work out at this level. I tested it, I tried it, I don't like it. I'm going back to what I was doing before this, right? So it's a double-edged sword. But I do look at those lower value NFTs as maybe bridges to bigger NFTs. But it's important that those that are launching projects or part of projects that have those types of economics associated with them, that they at the same time communicate and share what they've learned about this space with those new members, right? Because you certainly will have people that own those 50 crow NFTs that also hold 1,000 crow NFT. And, it's important to be a part of that community and share what you've learned, because the more that you share on your experience, maybe that also provides enough comfort for them to start bridging out, right? But we take a step back and think about, well, what really going to add value to NFTs, right? And I think one is art, two is community, and then three is branding, right? And where they're where the company's gonna or the project's gonna go, and so, when somebody comes into this NFT space, it's what are you looking to really get out of it? Are you here for financial gain? Because you could certainly make money flipping NFTs, right? Are you here for community, right? And because that's gonna provide you certainly a reason to stick around. And then, if you're looking for high hopes, pie in the sky type thing, then you got to, hopefully as you learn, you'll find projects that will indicate that high ceiling potential, right? We always look at apes as in the CryptoPunks, and we'll look at Meatbits and World of Women, and all these other Yuga Labs and NFTs, right? As kind of blueprints for how this is supposed to go. Right now, do we have any projects on Chronos that emulate those blueprints? Not really, right? We have projects that maybe have the aspirations and want to go that direction, but to say that they're now brands and are
household
going
names,
to
like,
yeah, bridging into the web 2, right? So we talk about web 3, but we always forget like the real money in web 3 is when you bridge back to web 2, right?
Yeah.
It's not, you can't stand alone just in web 3. And so that takes time, right? But you have to have connections in Web 2. You need resources, which comes from staffing or money, and so But it also speaks to the youth of this chain, right? Is that we're still very young, and so we see free mints on Ethereum all the time. We'll hit 5-6 ETH, right? And so, if we equate that to, these 20, 50 Chrome mints, right, it's similar monies, but they have different teams and they have like different abilities, right? And they're using funding from outside. A lot of these low cost mints, they're not on Chronos, at least. They don't appear, at least face value, to be coming with that type of horsepower behind them. They seem more like meme type of mint, or just let's get something cheap out there so that we can make 20 times 5,000 NFTs and pocket that crow. But we'll just put it on the community and say it's a community-based project and not really have to worry about delivering anything.
There's so much in that you said. Two points that stuck out that I think is worth just touching on. And then I see Coin's got his hand up, and then I'll give Alpha back his space now that his mum's maybe gone. But like,
yeah, give me back my space, man. I'm so pissed at her. If she comes over at 5 o'clock on some bullshit like there's a squirrel trying to get in my window, so I need a ladder, that is strictly just to fuck up the show.
Let's just touch on those points then, because there's a couple of things. Is there something to be said for us accepting, or do you think we should accept Chronos as a bridging chain for all the reasons that you said?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was built for.
Yeah, we've got
that's
a really
what we
strong,
want it to do.
Yeah, we've got a really strong commercial centralized exchange in Crypto.com, bringing in the normies, coming through Chronos, getting that little bit of appetite
and the
for
Cosmos infrastructure.
Yeah,
so we can't forget about that.
Well, exactly. And when we talk about trying to onboard and grow and bring people to Chronos, do we really? I was talking about this a lot on my Discord. Like, I don't focus too much on trying to bring people because I'm kind of letting CDC do that with all their billions of marketing money. But at the same time, I don't particularly want all my community necessarily to leave to go to Ethereum now that they're comfortable enough. But if we accept that that's possibly just what Chronos is, and we learn to live in that environment, that the people who learn, I'll just use my own project for an example, and grow in troops, and like, this is cool, I've made a little bit, it's been successful, now I can move on and do something else. And the next intake, the next pool of people come through and troops is still here, and we have to think about the next thing we're going to do for the next wave of people. So that's kind of interesting. And I guess conversely to that is the other point that Lo made, that if we are going to say that the low price mints are okay and they're an entry point, then it is important that they then go on to succeed. Because if we end up with lots of low price point mints that also go on to rug, and we have like a relative one, it would never be a one-to-one, but a high ratio of rugged low mint projects, then that's just going to lose all that confidence, right? So people with these low mints need to come with good roadmaps, all the solid stuff that we used to expect from people in the early days. And if it's 20 Crow, then fine. But they've got to still have all those good things that we expect. And then the final point is around the price to run a project. If in any business, and this is the point you're making there, Lo, about free mints, if you're coming as a project and you need your mint revenue to build the utility to give back, then if your NFT is so cheap, where are you getting that revenue from? A, to deliver all the things back to your holders that you said you were going to give them back in terms of distribution in Crow or all these other things. How are you building that? With what revenue, with what funds, if your mint price is so low? So there's a bunch of things to consider there. Just I would sum it up, I think.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because even just running the Island Thunder website for the past year is like $400. You know,
Yeah,
like
because I hear a
you
lot
gotta
of
have
people like,
something.
we distributed a lot of Crow back in the first 6 months of Troopers, right? And 6 months later, we're still here. So what I want to see is these projects are coming in with doing low mints, and they're saying, yeah, we've distributed this amount of Crow back. Well, what's their long-term vision? Do they still have a plan to continue to be sustainable when they don't have a mint revenue, or do they have to just do another mint or another mint? But I saw Coins had their hand, and then ITK. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good. I think Troops and Low hit it on the head. You basically said everything that was on my mind. Um, I was just thinking lately, I think this is a good discussion because I've been on, all these Chronos NFT marketplaces, and I'm just noticing all these real low mints. And I think the low mints are good if, like you guys both said, you're trying to build a community, but it also screams, I want to farm your crow and get it cheap and as much as I can, and then forget about this NFT project, specifically all the AI NFTs people are creating. Okay, if you're in crypto, you should know what AI is, and you should be able to tell AI collection that took zero effort. You can go into a
100%.
Discord. You can go into a
100%.
Discord and create that in less than a week, probably less than a few days. So there's going to be people coming to this chain, realizing how cheap it is, and they're going to farm people who don't know anything about Chronos NFTs. Yeah, I'm loving the space so far, guys, and that's just what I got.
That's a really good point, Matt. Because if you're going to put effort in, then you need to generate something to be worth it. And there's all different types of projects. I think it's fair, and we need to have space for them all, and that's awesome. But when we talk about the real traditional sort of, I think Lo mentioned it, kind of art, community, utility. If someone's putting genuine effort into art, into building the community, into giving utility or building utility, whatever that is, then that takes effort. Doing an AI generated thing and then getting someone to pay Crow for it, there's no effort being put into that, and there's a lot of revenue back, I guess.
Well, there's definitely two sides to argue on that one, and if there's any AI enthusiasts, bring it up here. I got your back. I got your back.
Well, there is, because if you say, "Hey, we're doing an AI thing for X reason," and it doesn't really matter.
We've seen some good AI projects come through. Like Dojalon Spoon has a really successful AI generated, but there's definitely, of course, there's a human element, but there's also like a spectrum of how much human element you put into it. Some people put very little. Some people put a lot.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think it is fair if you're a project, maybe like goes back to that whole thing about if you're established or whatnot, then you say, hey, we're going to do this AI generated thing, because actually it doesn't work. So say, I don't know, and I don't know anything about this. I'm just going to say, for example, Trollcoin. Please don't take anything that I'm saying as anything. But say they said, we're going to do an AI mint to generate more Crow to put back in our pools to give, like, whatever. It's a pool generating NFT thing. Then whatever, fine, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that picture is. It's irrelevant. It's not about that art picture. They've said it's an AI thing, and it's to generate revenue to go back into their pools. Whatever. And cool. It's about the transparency of the stuff, I think, isn't it?
And I just want to say that we're talking about low mint troll coin. Their NFTs were 10 Crow mint, and the floor got to about 100 Crow a few days ago. So it can be done. Like, that community is actually growing, and those NFTs are actually gaining value.
Absolutely.
So it can be done. It just depends on the project.
Yeah, Bach NFTs went from 20 Crow to 200.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
I
all our
think
troopers.
Gymstar also went low mint to high floor.
Yeah, I mean, one of our troopers NFTs, which was free with troopers tokens, is a 200 Crow floor, and then the other two that were free with troopers tokens are like 60 and 100 between them. So it can definitely be done if you keep building it all the time. We should go to some hands alpha, ITK, and then Atlas, I think.
That's correct. I was back again. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Like, some people aren't artists, and that doesn't mean they should stay away from NFTs. An NFT can be a number of things. I think it's just about, you know, if an artist comes in and they value themselves at $5 per piece, you know, that's their business. You know, if someone comes in and values themselves at $100 because they need the $100 to carry out the utility of the NFT project, I think that's an entirely different question. But going back to your point on Chronos, are you kind of saying in a roundabout way that Chronos is like the cigarette around the back of the around the back of the bike shed, and that like ETH is like a joint, and then, you know, Bitcoin's like heroin? Is that the kind of analogy you're drawing?
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it? It looks like it.
I think you're
I missed
right.
that part.
I think you're right. Like, I think, you know, Chronos is an onboarding chain. You know, it's an onboarding to crypto. It's, you know, how a lot of people will get into crypto. You know, they see the logo, they become familiar with the logo, they start to trust the platform, they download the app, they buy a bit of crypto. What's the first thing they buy? CRO.
Is it?
Well, it shouldn't be, but it is a lot of the time. I mean, look at the holdings of the of CDC, you know, through the app. It's outrageous.
It's
They
outrageous
probably
how
then
low Crow is.
the value of it.
Crow is not the highest holding.
No.
I think it should be.
It probably should be, given the amount of money they're pumping into marketing. But
And the utility of it for anyone that's using the crypto.org, well, not so much the crypto.org chain, but definitely the Chronos chain. And I feel like
you get all that utility with ETH, except the gas is cheaper here. You know, you get all that utility with Cosmos. You know, I don't think there's any more use case for Crow than there is any other currency
we
at the
got all
moment.
types of shit to argue now. Let's go with Atlas, and then Jimmy, and then Based.
Yeah, I only got one thing to add. Since you said Doja on Spoon, the Spoon Warriors. Yeah, that was incubated by Crodu. And anybody on here that I know this is a move, but if anybody needs to be listed on Moonflow, hit your boy up. I'll get you listed. Other than that, go ahead, Jim Star.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to say to Troopers, thank you for bringing up this topic. But I still want to ask you another question. And what is actually stopping you now that you are an established community? You have established community. You probably have any artists on Chronos jump on a project with you at your beckon. So it's going to be cheaper for you to start a project. So why would you put a price tag of 250, 300 crore on your next mint? I'm just why, and especially when the first question is, any shark or roundtable will ask you is that what are you going to be doing with the mint price? So we believe that you've already generated money from your previous projects, so you shouldn't really be coming back to the community to ask them for money.
I'm not really sure what the question is. Troopers specifically, this year we're focusing more on deflationary and burning our NFTs for people that already own stuff to get more value out of what they've already bought and purchased. Maybe with a small Crow fee thrown in. So we've got a whole different bunch of utilities and things planned this year, and we're looking to generate probably funds to build some dApps focused around our 5 pillars. But I'm not sure. So the question was, because we're a known chain, we could have any artist. Yeah.
Will I make it clear to you? It's just that we're talking about AI generation because it's cheap. So somebody that's looking to do a project, you don't have to have the money to pay the artist. You just go boom, generate this art, and you come up with your idea. So, but I'm saying like a project that is already established, that has some money, some backends, a few heavy bag carriers and VC probably behind them. Why do you still have, not you particularly, why would you still need to charge 300, 400 crore for a mint?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what the value, I think it might be an ITK that said it. It depends on what you value the thing to be at, right? So for Troopers, for example, we've only ever had one artist. That we don't use artists, we don't use Fiverr, we don't use AI. We have an artist who is a comic artist by trade, and who takes time and effort in every single thing that he creates for the project. And that's his time and his value. And people who buy most of our projects buy them because they genuinely like the NFTs that they're buying. There's a thread that goes through them that's got traits that are linked, that there's a little bit of fun in there, there's music references, there's stuff in the NFTs that relate to our project and to what we're doing. So part of the value of that NFT is the time and the effort of having a really genuinely talented person create the NFT. And then on top of that, we link the established community, the proven success, the technical goal behind us, and the whole structure that we've built. So I guess that would be our personal reason if we wanted to do something like that, how we would judge our mint price. But we wouldn't necessarily anyway. That's why this is a very open and balanced conversation, because it's interesting for
It's
us
a
as well.
really important conversation,
To think
right?
about it, because
I
I
mean,
don't
you
think
look up
if I
top.
was going to do a mint,
We've been working,
probably wouldn't
right?
do it.
We've been working on this Crow Warriors mint for 9 months, right? This is hand-drawn art, and I thought $2.99 was a good mint price, but a lot of smart people told me straight up, like, that'll kill it 100%. So we went with $1.99, and it's still what we've got 600, I think, minted so far since Friday, and it's not like we've been promoting it or pushing it or going crazy. And it's a steady mint, but again, it's like, this is $1.99. This is not.
What was your first thought? Your first price thought?
$4.20.
Yeah, that's right, 420. Yeah, I think your 200 is around about the mark, and I think that's why it's just an interesting conversation. I think there's people who will pay people will pay to be part of something if they see the value there, and I think it comes back to what somebody else said about the established.
Is that because of saturation in the marketplace though?
I think you might be onto something.
Yep. And that was one of the other things that we talked about last week, isn't it? About too many of like these things, because let's be
I
brutally
can't
honest.
think of anything else that would make all of us think the same about prices coming down.
Totally, and we
aren't you
like
happy you took
what's
that advice,
200 crow like at $10?
Exactly.
200 crow about $10?
Yeah.
Like,
right
do you
there.
know,
how much more
that's
difficult
market
would have been at
saturation.
420?
Yeah. So again,
But is it as a result of there being 500 projects going on at the same time, and everybody thinking, oh well, I'm gonna save this for that and this for that, and I know when we think crow, we think 200 crow. We don't think 0.0612 or whatever it is. We think 12. Some people think 18. Some people think 24%. And they think, geez, that 200 crow, what's going to be worth in X amount of time. So at the bottom of the market is a difficult time to sell an NFT, but it's even more difficult when there's 50 projects minting at the same time.
But see, ITK, you made a good point there. You have to price according to the market, according to the current market, not like the dream you were living 6 months ago. And that was my advice to Alpha. Like, I understand the value of what you're trying to put out there, but at the same point, this is what the current market will support. Like a 420, it makes sense to me, but I don't think the market could support that right now. If you really want to sit on a mint for 3 or 4 months and just wait the market out, then go for it. But
this is why you need good people around you, because it's like,
just to be honest with you, like I see what you're doing, and I'm not gonna bullshit.
You're not the only one.
Reality.
You are not. Yeah, like 6 other people said.
Yeah, but why is the market like the market has been driven down by us? Like, are you talking like I think Lo mentioned it, like the macro and the micro? Like Crow is
right, but
low.
look at
so why would you
sharks.
have if you look at a dollar value, Crow is low. So we should be asking for more Crow from people, not less.
Yeah,
that's my thesis as well. Yeah,
those sharks have been sitting at 626 mints at 1,000 crow for the past 5 months.
Well, and you're right in that, and that is too much, right? And that is you have to. There is a balance, and that again, I'm not talking about anything for me between the sort of 200 and probably 400 mark. There's probably something in that space, which is exactly the crow sort of prices we were paying last year, because it's about the value. It shouldn't really change. And interestingly, if you look at a lot of the troopers floors, they've all stayed around about what they were minted for back then. But dollar value, they're less because crow's gone down. But the value of the project and the crow price is still there. I just worry, kind of what ITK said, is that part of and Jimstar, one thing I should say to you, no one's having, this isn't a pop at you. Yes, you had a mint with a low price. It's irrelevant. You keep building, doing your thing, adding value. It won't matter. So none of this conversation should be taken personally by anybody who's having it. But if we continue to just flood the chrono space with thousands of NFTs at a very low price, how do we derive the value at that point? Notwithstanding
Actually,
that it's
how
I,
low
I
was
think
your
probably
I
mint,
think
Jimmy?
I think
Jimmy
the
might
more
not
important
even have.
question,
Jimmy
the
might
more
not even
important
have a
troop
low mint.
troops, I think the more important question is how do you come back from it? So, it's all
exactly.
right. It's all right to hammer the nail or to turn the tap on, with the bath filling up. But like, how do you turn the tap off on what I'll call, I don't mean this as an insult to anybody, but a cheap mint. Do you know what I mean? Something like 50 crow. Do you know? So once one person starts doing 50 crow, it sets an expectation in the marketplace that NFTs on Chronos cost 50 crow.
Well,
Do you know
and
what I
and we
mean? So,
also got Bach, who's in here every day, and he's like, Bach minted for 20 crow and it's sold for 200, and he would say it every day.
but that's fine if crow is $1. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but crow's not a dollar.
He forgets
Let's
Not
go.
to add
We
he
got
anymore.
to
sells
do
it to
these hands.
himself.
It's 6 o'clock, y'all. It's
He,
six a goddamn clock.
Alpha, you forgot to mention the part where he says he sells it to himself in a different wallet at 200 crores.
Who?
Let's go to the next topic.
You're mean. You're just mean. Not based. What's up? Or Atlas.
I'm gonna step down. I'm gonna give my spot to anybody that wants to speak. I was able to message the Crodo team. I know we talked about them a little bit in here, but if you guys want their take, we got a couple of their team members in here that run their AMAs, and we got the community manager in here as well.
Yeah, get him up here.
Yeah, it's Do Nuggets and Dr. Do down there. I don't know if either of you guys want to speak, but feel free to if you guys have any questions. But I'm gonna step down. I'll be in the room. Thank you for letting me up here and talk about some projects that are building and growing during the bear.
Oh hell yeah. We'll see if not Based is here. Based, you there?
Yeah.
What's up?
I just want to kind of circle back to the whole AI art thing. I know that Atlas already talked on Dr. Do, and I know he has a couple of projects out that, or he has the Dr. Do, but a couple of them are AI generated in that ecosystem. But I know he pays out royalties to the AI holders from services that he has, deving out bots and stuff. So like, at what point does that change like low entry point from low effort to low entry point?
Yeah. I'm sending invites to the Do guys because I would
It
love to talk
depends.
to
I
them.
mean,
Here we go. Here's some Do.
well, no, I'm just saying it depends, right? At that point, I don't know if you're doing AI art, there's nothing wrong with it, especially if it's really cool. But you got to recognize when you're selling art versus a utility-backed NFT, right? And I think there's a distinction between the two. And you inherently, the creators, know which one you fall more or lean more towards. Now
And do
the
people want to
investors,
read that right on the Mint page? Like they want to know the utilities, like bong bong bong, like a nutrition facts on the side of a cereal box.
I think everybody looks for roadmaps, right? And just because it's written out there and there's a roadmap doesn't
But
mean
in your
that.
expert uncle opinion, like would that be best to have your utilities like right there on the Mint page?
Yeah, I mean, well, at least a link on your website to the roadmap, right? Because they want to ensure, like, what tells me whenever I read community based and then there's no roadmap, that just means that like they're just winging it, and maybe they're just putting it on a community boat. When they talk about, here's what they want to do, here's their vision, branding, et cetera, it, at least from an investor standpoint, it tells me like they've got a vision, and I'm more inclined to invest in somebody with a vision rather than just a product.
Hey, do
I
you
love
mind
it.
if I touch on this something real quick? Because I don't want anybody to think that I'm hating on AI art. I love AI art. I'm just saying I pay attention to the AI art that is 20 to 10 crow mint, has no utility, and they're just farming people for their crow. There's a big difference between that and a real AI art utility project.
I hear you. Let's go Do Nuggets, Briar, and then Texas.
Yo, thank you for having me. Thank you for bringing me up. I just want to shout out to Demon. But I just want to correct him on a few things. It's Dr. Do is actually a mod at CrowDo. I'm the community manager. Art Do is our dev, and he's the one that he pays everything he makes off of his dev work. Pretty much the revenue he makes, he pays 50% of that to his holders. And just to reiterate, back to what you guys were saying about low mints, we actually started out as a low mint. It was 35 for whitelist, I think, for CrowDo, and 40 for public mint. Today, our floor price is well above 500 Crow on Abyssus and on Minted. We are an NFT project with utility. Like I said, 50% of all the work that the dev does, the dev is actually the dev and the founder, so we don't have to outsource. He does everything in house. From websites, we do have a launch pad. We've launched probably over 35 projects in the bear market and have sold, and probably 60% of those have sold out and are doing really well. And just to touch bases on what you guys are saying about AR art, both sides are correct. Chronos and the market is definitely very oversaturated with AI art. That's one of the very first things I said when I started seeing these projects drop. But on the other hand, from an art perspective, a lot of this AI art is very, very beautiful and intriguing. And I've seen from firsthand on being on Discord, I'm active on almost every project's Discord, even if I'm not invested there. They love it, man. They love that AI art. They eat it up, man. They eat those floors up along with it. Like just recently with the Spoon Warriors, I was in the Discord and they're arguing over who's got the best Spoon Warriors. So I mean, it's very subjective. It's very subjective.
My man hit me with a Spoon Warrior. I put it on the market. Wait a second. I think it was for 4,200. I gotta check now. It was ridiculously high, and it fucking sold in like 6 hours. It was a display. Like I say this all the time. I put shit up with display prices. 4,200 Crow, like right off the bat, and that shit sold. And that was AI, and it was beautiful.
Can I ask a quick question? Can I ask a quick question about? So I think you said CrowDo. I'm familiar with CrowDo, obviously.
We've been catching up, man. Like
the dev, right? So I think you said, and it'd be good to see this somewhere on a white paper or something. But I think you said everything that the dev builds, so every project that he's launching on his launch pad, he's giving 50% of revenue generated from the mint. You never mentioned royalties. We can come back to that. But I think you said he's giving 50% of everything from the mints back in distribution to the original CrowDo holders. Is that correct?
Yeah, we were told earlier that it was 700,000 Crow that they've given back so far.
I want to just double check because it's an important point. So the redistribution from everything he builds and launches is being redistributed to the original CrowDo holders. Is that right?
Yeah, he charged. So like, let's say a project reaches out to us, opens up a ticket on the Discord.
Yeah.
Just to break it down for you, let's say they need a website, they need a mint contract, et cetera, et cetera. They need metadata. He would charge them an upfront price, starting off for that, and then as well as a percent of the mint. So everything that he's making from that, he's going to give 50% of that back to his holders.
Okay.
On top of royalties as well from secondary markets, since we do give royalties back from secondary markets, and we get I'm not sure the percentage right off bat. I didn't think I was gonna come up today, but yeah, we do give a percentage of royalties back too. So it's royalties and anything he makes as far as dev work, he gets back to his CrowDo holders, and we've distributed back 314,000. I think in 500 Crow in 5 months to our holders. Anybody that minted a CrowDo on August 11th, if you minted at whitelist or you minted at 40 Crow price, you have already ROI'd on your investment. Your CrowDos are free.
Okay, so quick follow-up question then. With all that being said, then would you say then there's a strong incentive for Crow Dev or CrowDo? What's his name? Let's just call him CrowDo. I'm just going to call him CrowDo Dev. Is there a strong incentive for CrowDo Dev to launch as many projects as he can, regardless of what those projects are bringing to the chain? And the follow-up question to that, how is he then, you said he's launched X amount of projects and they're all doing well. By what measure are those projects doing well?
I'm glad you said that. We launched, I'll just give you some examples. We launched Baby Monsters Baby Monsters minted out in like 4 minutes. It was in 2 phases. I'm pretty sure people that are here are familiar with Baby Monsters. We launched Chronos OG. Chronos OG
Hold on,
has
stop.
current.
Let's stop talking so fast and get to details. So Chronos Monsters, what was the mint price?
Oh, Baby Monsters.
Baby Monsters.
Why you
what was
being
the
a
mint
bummer, Troops? Hold on. This
No,
is
because
my
these,
show. Go
Bro,
off,
these
Two
are
Nuggets.
I
Let's
vouch
go,
for
baby.
that guy, man.
these are the questions. These are the questions that we said we wanted to ask people, right? So how much was the mint price and what was the supply?
If you want to, actually, you could go to crodu.com, and there's a list of everything that
Are you
mints.
able to answer it real quick just to go
I
through
mean,
the supply?
we launched Baby Monsters probably like 3 or 4 months ago, bro. So I would actually have to like pull up all my notes. You have to give me like 30 minutes to
Troops,
pull
tell
up all
me you
my
saw
notes.
the Baby Monsters drop.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
so
right,
I'm just
cool.
so what I'm trying to the point I'm trying to get at
I
in line with the conversation that we've been having. I know the guys
not to
who
cut
just
you,
popped in, right? But what we've been
not to
talking
cut
about
you off,
is
bro.
okay, go.
Not to cut you off, bro, but to answer your question, like just give you a general statement, I would say, like I told you, we launched 30 to 35 projects. I told you that 60% of those have probably sold out when they minted out. I would say out of those projects that minted out, 40 to 50% of those are doing very well on secondary markets. They're doing very well. I'm not sure if you're familiar with crofam ladies. They're doing very well. I can list you off the
Oh, that was
project.
you guys? I got into that.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I'm out now, but man.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm. That's really all.
And to answer, hold on, I'm not done. Hold on, I want to answer your other question. And yes, there's an incentive for our dev to launch projects, of course. But that's a great thing, don't you think? That's what
I was gonna ask Troops. Troops, do you not see this as a positive?
Well, no, I guess the point I'm trying to make is we were talking here just 2 seconds ago about saturation of low value NFTs. The measure here, it sounds to me that we're talking about the measure of success is minting out a low supply, low crow price project, and therefore that's a success. I don't know how that measures a success of a project, but okay, fine, let's just take that as a success.
I didn't say that.
Right?
I didn't say that, bro. I said the market was oversaturated. I said the market was oversaturated with NFTs like AI art. Yes, that is correct. But also said that it's very subjective that the communities love the art. So if they're minting these projects, more than likely, yes, you're always going to.
Surprisingly so. How much
You're always going to get people. You're always going to get people looking for ROI. Anything that is in crypto that people deem as an easy flip, you will always find those people. So yes, people will mint it out. They'll try to flip it out, but then you got to find the community. After all that's said and done, all you have left is the community.
And then the community. Listen,
and then the community.
We got 6 minutes until our third and final 420. Believe it or not, Briar is a patient and quiet guy. What's up, Briar?
Not much, man. I was patient yesterday when I showed up to the restaurant. I'm like, yo, Alpha's finally coming. I'm gonna meet this fucking dude.
No,
and
not again.
I pictured you in your slippers, just being like, sucker, sucker. No, it's all good.
Real close this time.
So, you know what? I just wanted positive affirmations. So I figured I'd bust your balls a little bit. But I was thinking about you today, my dude. And I went through my wallets. And you know what I found? I found 3 million Thunder that was supposed to liquidate.
Wait, you dropped out of the important part. You found 3 million Thunder. Where did it come from?
It was for the liquidity pools. It was on Radio Shack.
Oh,
and then they blackballed Thunder or something. So then they
motherfuckers at Radio Shack.
Yeah, they gave me some kind of bullshit about pulling it out too. But I got it out, and
you got it back.
It was just sitting in a wallet, so I put it on Crodex.
All right, let's make some more liquidity.
Yeah.
Hey, Alpha, I think it's important to say to the guys, Drew Nuggets and other guys who came up, that if they were here for the full entirety of the conversation, like none of this was an attack on like what they're doing or having a good dev building good stuff, but it was in line with the conversation that we've been having here, which was about lots of stuff coming in. And you asked me the question, do I think it's a good thing? I don't really think I'm indifferent. It's not up to me to decide. But whilst we were talking about lots of NFTs going on the market, whilst we're talking about how do you measure success and what that looks like, and whilst we're talking about, there is an incentive for that ecosystem to continue to churn out projects if the original holders are getting 50% back. And that's I'm not trying to position that as therefore they're just going to keep churning out shit. But are we still looking at those projects like we used to on Kronos and saying, what's the roadmap? Like, I think you said something like there, once they've minted out and once they've been flipped, all you're left with then is the community. Well, exactly. And what are those communities doing and what's happening moving forward? There's so many questions that we used to ask and we used to hold projects accountable to that I don't know where all that's gone.
Well,
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
answer
this is
to your
a little.
question,
It's a little hard with this one because it's an unscheduled kind of AMA with these guys, but also it's not about the individual projects. It's about the collective and what it did. I'm sure if we dialed in on one of these projects, we could talk about its
Yeah, it's
roadmap.
definitely just to clarify, it wasn't an attack on them or anybody else.
I,
I felt like he was coming at me hot.
oh no, I think this is great
No,
discussion. But
yeah, these are important.
to answer your question, Troop, I think it's a balancing act, and I think in an ideal world, no, I mean, um, putting more businesses like you just look at it like real world, right? If you open up a mall in a city that has 20,000, um, let's say 20,000 residents, that mall will stay relatively busy. Now you throw in a second one, now you still got the same amount of money in that city, but now you've got to split it between two different conglomerates, right? Now you throw in a third mall, right? So the complication that is occurring with the saturation that is occurring is that the more of these projects that get put out, yeah, they might serve as quick flips, making some money here or there. But at the end of the day, we've only got an X amount of users, and because there are not millions and millions of users like for some of these other chains, um, yeah, it does take away from focus on some of the products that are providing more promise for the long term, and that's unfortunate. But
Potentially, yeah.
yeah, I think it's all of our responsibilities to have these conversations and help inform investors so that they can choose what best fits their investment approaches. Maybe they're just in it for the art, and some of this art, like what we've mentioned, is really good and
Yeah.
nice. So if that's what they're looking for, then boom, you got it. But if you're
I
looking
mean,
for
that's
something
what
that
we run these spaces for twice a
Yeah.
day. So everybody can get the word out. They can tweet the room out. They can tell their friends and especially their devs and projects and communities about this
It's also the point,
space.
Alpha, that Lo was saying there. Like it's probably the same people, right? We know this. Like there's quite a
It's
lot of
all the
people on.
same people.
There's a lot of Kronos, but mostly like it would be the same people that are in troops that are in here that are minting these. And I think a lot of the longer term investors are like, fuck it, I don't care. I'll throw 300 crow at 10, 30 crow NFTs any day, and if it does something, it does something. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So there's something in that as well. That it's the same people. I just Alpha's mom came and I just opened up a conversation, which I thought was an interesting one. But
I know, man. I like first day back, first show back, and she's obviously upset with me about something. We'll figure it out some other day. But today it's 420 and we did it again. God damn. I'm so proud of y'all. We burned through all three 420s like we usually do every damn day. Proud of y'all. Do Nuggets. Talk to me.
Now, I just want to tell troops, man. You asked some very valid questions, bro, and I'm never taking it as an attack, man. We welcome those kind of questions that Crow do. I want to just thank you again, Alpha. I'm getting ready to drop down. But if we could, I get a little excited. I'm the rah guy of the team. Dr. Do down there, he's the speaker. So if we can schedule like a formal space, sometime that would be great. And you guys can definitely grill us all you want, man. Ask all the
Definitely,
questions
bro.
you
I
want.
fuck with the energy big time. We got to do it like tomorrow. That would be cool. Let's run through coins and then heroes.
All right, this is my last piece on the low mint. People need to realize when something also when it's a low mint, say 10 crow, it's really easy for people when it's stealth launched to go in and just eat up a bunch of NFTs that are going to have royalties, and those people who get those royalties. And this is no FUD against Dr. Do or anything. It's on the blockchain. I'm looking at the holders. 397. The first holder has 481 in its wallet, and all the way down to the 16th holder, they all have over 100. So the people that are really banking the most are the people who minted it out in the beginning, who knew about it, and they're getting the best royalties. But now it's a floor of 500 for people who want to get in. But honestly, you gotta believe in the project and the people holding that they're gonna hold that whole time and not slowly drop those NFTs to the floor all the way down till it's zero.
But then by minting these projects continually, they're having an entry point for people and hopefully an onboarding tool as well. I'm gonna let Dr. Do go quick before Heroes.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me up,
Oh,
Alpha. Yeah, just wanted to touch base on that a little bit about the floor price of Crodu. To be honest with you, we never look at the floor price at all. It's irrelevant to us because our whole game plan was to get awareness, to get trust within the Kronos community, be able to launch projects successfully and at an efficient rate. So if our floor price hit 20 Crow under mint, it wouldn't matter because our revenue is not dependent on secondary sales. It would bring new investors over with a good opportunity to make their ROI. And the people that have been holding for a long time, they'll just keep holding because they're not there for a quick flip. They're there for the ROI and the passive income that we bring.
Yeah, I like it.
I think it's also worth just to be clarified as well. The conversation wasn't really about the floor price. It's clear that the Crodu project itself has got great utility because 50% of everything that the dev does is going back to those holders. The question is more about the projects that are being created to fulfill that utility. What happens to all of those?
What do you think, Heroes?
What I think is that I vouch for Art. Art do. I have known him since before he created Crodu. He's a good dev. He told me once he was gonna, do this for like his in real life job, and he wanted to, leave his job so that he can do this. And now that we're here, I do see it. I do see how much, because I'm in there as well, invested. I do see how much the project is making every Sunday. Every Sunday, they do release royalties. Even if you only have 30 produce, you're getting over 100 to 300 crow. I'm not kidding. You can ask, go and ask in the Discord. But he's a real good guy. He does have not only that project, but he has a lot of businesses. He has bots. He can create a lot of stuff for dev work, and that's what drives a lot of his private project up. So it's not only about the royalties, even though they are killing it with the royalties, and you can go in there and see it. But dropping all those projects is just not, their only thing. They he has a lot of debt work, and he pays back with what the money he gets. He pays back into the community of the Crodu fans.
That's why
So,
I'm pumped on this, man. Because
dude,
like I see
yeah,
nothing but positives about all this.
He's a
dude,
great
I
I'm
was
he's a great
saying
guy.
like
saying,
He's
we need
clearly a
more
very good
devs, we
yeah.
need more good content, we need more of all this, and seems like they're doing it.
He's clearly a great dev. Like, he's a good dev, and I'm sure he's a great guy too. But no one's still answering the question of he can't possibly run all these projects that he's launching. So he's giving
yeah,
people a launch pad. He's
he's
making
not
money.
but
Yeah,
he's not running. He's
of course
helping
not. Yeah.
people get into the Web3. Like myself, I'm an artist for my project and the founder, and um in my artist profile, I'm up to help anyone that wants to start their own project as an like for an artist. If they need an artist, I am willing to help them out for free on their first drop, because
Cool.
that's
Wow.
some
And
people
where did you
do.
Why
come
didn't you
from?
tell me that like 2 months
2
ago?
months ago. Where did you
Well,
come from? How did you get into Kronos? Where were you before?
um, I come from the Undead Space Apes. Don't talk much about it now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I come from there. Don't
Is
want
that
any
on
drama,
which is
but
that the
yeah,
one on this chain? The one on Kronos?
yeah. I'm Kronos
Okay,
chain right
yeah.
now. My project is about to drop. It is a stealth launch, so I'm not into the spaces with this project right now. It is a game NFT. I do come up with some other partners that project partners that I am working with. But like I said, I don't shield that much my projects since the first founders NFT is a stealth launch, so people in my Discord will know about it, and it's about to drop soon. But anyways, yeah,
Oh, you're
as
about
an
to
NFT,
stealth launch, but you just putting it out there. All
yeah,
right. I
but
see
there's no
you.
setup date in there, so you have to be inside. So, anyways, as an NFT artist designer, I'm trying to build up my portfolio. So I'm out there helping people that are starting. Probably they don't know how to draw, and they do launch their project, and you can see that they don't know how to draw, but they are willing to go for it and start their project, and they do mint out. But
Yeah,
um
and the art
sometimes
doesn't
it
have to
doesn't
be
need,
permanent.
yeah,
I'm always telling
sometimes it
people
doesn't
this. Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't need to be like a good art to have good utilities. So that's where I offer my services to some people that are willing to go ahead and run something. I'm willing to work with them for the first drop. If they want to keep me for the second drop, we can go ahead and talk about whatever royalties or businesses payment that I can get. But for the Web3 buildup, I'm in for it, and I do like the work. Um, I do like the process of it. So some people do this stuff because they like it, and Art Do is one of them. The founder of the Croduce and the art designer of the Croduce. So I do like that guy, and like I said,
No, I
I
can tell
met
it's
him
good
with
people, bro. Like, and
yeah, I met him
we're always saying
with
we invest in people here, so that's why it's
yeah.
great that everybody came up today. Heroes, Doctor Do Nuggets, all that do. Jimmy, Coins on Chronos, Uncle Low been up here. Troops has been holding it down as co-host. You never know when my mother's gonna show up. It's like once every couple of months. But god damn, that can throw a whole show off. So that was a save. That's a save for Scotland. That's a save for Crofam. That that is a large step for mankind. Um, I had all this news to go through with you guys. The BlackRock Bitcoin Fund. That's huge news. Texas is. He came up here and just pin bombed us with Eric Anziani just kicking the can down the road with the loaded lions. You guys really want me to talk about that? Get the fuck out of here. I'm taking that down because Crow Warriors is up there, and we didn't talk about it once. But they're minting. You can go to islandthunder.io. You can go to the link up top. We can talk about it tomorrow. Dr. Do, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to make a point on the conversation earlier about just in general the crypto.com ecosystem, Chronos ecosystem. We also have to keep in mind, right, and not focus too much on the specifics. If we look at it from a higher perspective for a second, what's crypto.com doing to market? What's their target audience? Their target audience is the everyday person. It's just a regular person, may work a minimum wage job, somebody that doesn't have thousands of dollars necessarily to spend. So when you talk about gas fees in general, our gas fees are low. That's perfect. It fits the description for the audience that they're targeting. If you look at Ethereum, somebody mentioned earlier that at one point it was $100 for a transaction. Well, everyday person can't afford that. So they're not going to go to Ethereum, right? They're going to go to a cheaper chain. Secondly, crypto.com, its name in itself is crypto.com. That's going to be the first place that people go to. It's going to be something that they remember because it's named after what we use every day, cryptocurrencies. Another point to consider, everything being so cheap at this point, in 5 years from now, it could be more expensive, but at this point, it's cheap. Entry point is perfect for new investors who don't have a lot of money. If you only have $100 to invest into something, maybe you want to diversify a little bit. This is the perfect chain. You got low mints. If you have a little bit more money, you can invest into something that has a better reputation. something that maybe has more value in their NFTs. We have options, and that's beautiful, right? As a project grows, and if it grows the way it's supposed to or the way that they want it to, mint price will increase, their value will go up, and the entry point will no longer be for the regular person. It will be for seasoned investors that have a large portfolio. So having new projects come out that are 20 Crow Mint or maybe 50 Crow Mint or 100 Crow Mint that are relatively cheap for the everyday person. Remember the target audience that crypto.com is trying to get into the communities over here. It's absolutely perfect. So that's just my standpoint. I think that will grow organically. I think that when it becomes common for people to have a crypto wallet, I think that we will blow up potentially the most. And that's just my 2 cents on the subject.
I like this guy. You got to come up here more often. That's the energy I vibe with. I am bullish on you. I am bullish on this group. I'm bullish on Crow and crofam because I think we took so many arrows that were undeserved over the past 2.5 months that we still haven't recovered from. And if we see growth for the coin like we saw today, just nice and steady, not up too fast, not down too fast, I'm here for the ride. And I'm glad that we've got this time to build these really cool things and bring other people in while it's still a ridiculously good entry point, better than a lot of you got in at. So drink that water, brush those teeth, own your keys, own your crypto. Remember that this is DeFi, ladies and gentlemen. Never, ever forget that. Don't tell your seed phrase to anyone. That's all your shit going out the window. Write it down on a piece of paper. Put it someplace safe. Put it in a safe. Then write it down again. Some of you still haven't done this. Write it down again. Put it someplace else. Now you're good. Now you can show somebody else how to do this because it ain't easy. We'll be back in the morning. Coffee and Crow. Crow fan for life. Lots of love, y'all. Peace.